So as I discussed earlier, potential erratic behavior, going from compliant to non-compliant, not feeling any pain, potentially having superhuman strength, and it's just safer for the officer and for the suspect to keep him in that prone control.
What part of this is not compliant?
So I see his arm position in the picture that's posted.
Right.
That, a compliant person would have both their hands in the small of their back and just be resting comfortably, versus like he's still moving around.
Did you say resting comfortably?
Or laying comfortably.
Resting comfortably on the pavement.
Yes.
At this point in time, when he's attempting to breathe by shoving his shoulder into the pavement.
Day 12 of Derek Chauvin's murder trial, and the crackpot argument underlying his defense just appeared. And it actually could be enough to help him beat the case. What is it? It's called excited delirium. Welcome into TYT Overruled. I'm attorney Adrienne Lawrence with all of the legal dates you need to know. Basically, it appears Chauvin's defense hinges on this theory that George Floyd died from excited delirium. So what is it? Well, this phenomenon is an alleged condition where an ordinary person who may or may not have a history of cocaine use suddenly becomes agitated, distressed. They engage in aggressive behavior, display superhuman strength, and become impervious to pain, often experiencing sudden death. Yeah, it sounds pretty implausible, right? They get all hyped up and then they just die? Well, leading medical authorities are skeptical about it too. The American Medical Association, the American Psychiatric Association, the World Health Organization, all of them say that excited delirium is a farce. It's pseudoscience. It's junk, as in it's not real. It's not even in the DSM. But there's a small handful of medical associations that back excited delirium. That's the National Association of Medical Examiners and the American College of Emergency Physicians. Oddly enough, these organizations happen to work very closely with law enforcement. So where did excited delirium come from? Well, there was a medical examiner named Charles Wetley. He first used the term excited delirium back in the 80s to explain the unexplained death of some 32 black women in Miami. Now, these women were sex workers, and their bodies showed no signs of physical trauma. Wetley came up with this theory that it was a combination of cocaine use and this sexual encounter that suddenly led to their demise, calling it excited delirium. Then a teenager died who wasn't into coke and wasn't into sex work and had kind of that similar conditions, and that really undermined Wetley's theory, right? Well, the police decided to actually do a little investigation, and they happened to find that there was no excited delirium at all, but it was a serial killer who was killing these women. He was asphyxiating them by applying constant pressure on their chests. Excited delirium is junk science at best. Now, despite the discrediting, since Charles Wetley's excited delirium theory made headlines, it's continued to do so. Why? Because law enforcement keeps it alive. Excited delirium is disproportionately cited in cases where black and brown men die in custody. December 2018, former combat veteran Gregory Edwards died in a Florida jail. August 2019, 23-year-old Elijah McClain in Aurora, Colorado. 3 months before Chauvin knelt on George Floyd's neck in March 2020, it was Manuel Ellis in Tacoma, Washington, all unarmed, in police custody, high melanin count, and suddenly dead. And the officers pointing to excited delirium. Not only is this pseudoscience a joke, excited delirium shouldn't even be in the conversation when it comes to Chauvin's trial. But Chauvin and co. need a distraction. They need a way to blame Floyd for his own death, as though having a grown-ass man kneel on Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 15 seconds wasn't the cause of death. But this is going to be something that the jury's going to have to decide. Regardless, we'll keep you posted. Thanks for watching.